So, first of all, talk about how exciting this week is for you and playing these first shows. What were your expectations and how's it working out so far?
Yeah, so far I'm very happy. I arrived in the US a few days ago, and so I played my first gig in the US in New York a few days ago, and it was very, very nice evening, and I enjoyed it a lot. And then I just arrived yesterday in Los Angeles, and I was driving a little bit around, and it's so big and very different from my hometown. So I'm very excited to be here and to have the opportunity to play and to share my music with people. That's great.
Even with all your success at home, and you've done very well, obviously. Is this a big deal to be here? Is this the kind of thing as an artist that you look at as a goal, as a dream, to be able to come here and play shows? It's something you thought about for years?
Yeah, I think for me it is. I mean, for my music, I think it's important to just travel, because my music for me is something who's beyond languages, and so I enjoy really sharing what I do with people, even very far from home. And when I go to Japan, for example, and I see people there, and I feel like they understand really, we are talking together. I mean, there is really a relationship between the people and me on stage, and I forget that we don't talk the same language at this moment, and I think that's part of the magic to making music. So yeah, for me it is. I mean, maybe it depends on the style of music you're doing, but for me it's really great to be here and to start something here and in nice venues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Talk about that relationship with the audience when you first realized it as an artist in France. When did you realize that connection with the audience and how important that was, and when did you know that was coming together?
Actually, I realized this relationship after my first album, because I started more by the studio. I'm very a studio artist. I love my computer. I like working ages on softwares. This is my passion, and so I like to compose alone and to work on the arrangements, and so this is a lot of time that I spend alone with my instruments and my computer. So when my album is finished and mixed and ready to be pressed and to finish in the stores, and I start to tour and I start to play, and it was the first time I realized how it was important. But what I love about making music is that every step is so important and so part of the process, because when you are creating something, you think, wow, that's really the most important in music, is just to write the song. And when the song is written and you are producing it, you say, well, that's really what's fascinating, is just to find the right production for a song. And then when you make the gigs, you think, well, that's the most important thing, is to share this with people. So every step is so, balanced each other.
Mm-hmm. Nice to have a job where it's all important and satisfying at the time. Right?
Yeah.
Talk about when you knew you could perform. Because you talk about so much is at the computer and so much is spent kind of isolated. How liberating is it to get on stage and actually perform the song? Is it a whole different feeling for you?
Yeah, I think I was shy at the beginning because I didn't have really I was not used to that. So I had really to open slowly to the people, and it's very nice because people notice that. So it's very. I noticed in my gigs, especially at the beginnings of my concerts, there is a little bit of like a relationship with somebody. So first you ask yourself, oh, who is this person, and you try to understand, and then you feel good and you start to talk. But it's like very natural to me to just spend time together, and at the end, most of the time, I don't want to leave the stage.
And doing your videos, which are amazing, how much fun is that for you, the visual art of all that and putting all that together? Because those are incredible.
Yeah, I love it because when I write music, when I write my songs, I'm really into pictures, and I've got a lot of pictures and colors and textures, feelings. Everything is very visual also when I write my music. So when it comes to make a video, it's just really fun to have the possibility to to explore your imagination, to go back to all the visuals you had when you written first you wrote first the song, and to try to invite people in your head also, to try to just show very precisely what happens when you did the song.
Mm-hmm. Talk about some of the things that have been appealing to you when you're writing in the videos, between the flowers and the vegetation and all these different things. How do you see those images? Is that things that just appeal to you? Is it whimsical? Are you into the science side of things? Where does that all kind of come from?
No, it just appeared to me. It seemed to be very inspiring to me. Maybe it was just my, I don't know, the time in my life or in my year where I felt very receptive to all these parallels, metaphors with the nature. And yeah, I think that's just, it was also very instinctive. Yeah, I didn't have to try very hard. It's like if everything came a little bit to me. Mm-hmm.
Talk about this album now that's out this week here, and it's kind of a collection, obviously, some songs you've had before, and some new songs. Put into words what this album is comprised of.
Oh yeah, so this album, The Flower Book, is my first US album, but also it's a collection of songs from 3 different CDs. So the first CD is my first album, who was released in 2003 in France and in other countries also. And the second album is the soundtrack of La Marche de l'Empereur, who was released in 2005, I think.
Mm-hmm. March of the Penguin.
March of the Penguin, yeah. Mm-hmm. But the original version, not the UK and American version, which is a totally different music. And the third album is Végétal, who was released in March in France. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For people that don't know, if you can, it might be hard to do yourself, but talk about your success over there in France and just what that's been like for you and your fans and how exciting that's been.
Yeah, I mean, I write music since I'm very young. Maybe I wrote my first song when I was 10 or 11, and it has always been with me, but I didn't know exactly how big it would become, you know. I just enjoy making music and writing songs. And when I started to go to university, I went to musicology to study music and history of music and writing and analysis and anyway, a lot of things around music also. And I started to be very interested in all the softwares and contemporary music world and all the possibilities that you can have using very specific softwares to treat the sound and to make your sound be very personal, yeah, to make them yours. So it started to be very interesting to me, and I just felt like I should make an album now. So I started to work on my first song alone, and all the process I did it at home. It's really a DIY project at the beginning. It's really homemade, and that's how I ended up. Really, a friend of mine played some songs to labels, and they thought it was interesting, and I ended up signing on a label that was great in France, and making my first record like this. And then the producer of La Marche de l'Empereur, so March of the Penguin, they phoned me to talk about this project. So they phoned actually my label and saying, we would like to meet Emilie to talk about this project, and I said, yeah, let's see. So they told me all the story about this movie they were working on with penguins, you know. So it was very strange to me. Yeah, why not? Let's do that. And actually, when they proposed me this work, I just wrote a song called Ice Girl, where I used a lot of noise coming from coldness to me, you know, like ice cubes or snow sounds or crackling of the ice, and also a lot of instruments who sounded cold to me, like I don't know, vibraphone or little glass harmonica, very strange instruments also that I wanted to use. And so I just wrote this song, and it was finished. And when they talked to me about this project, I thought it was really destiny to just to say, oh wow, I just wrote a song about that. And I played them the song, and they liked it. and I proposed them to do a little bit this concept for the movie, to have the feeling when you are in the Antarctic, to have the feeling that the music comes from the pictures, to have this feeling of coldness around you, but building a music. So that's how it started. But I didn't know at all it would become such a big deal, and for me it was just a nice experience to try. My first soundtrack, it was their first movie as a producer, the first movie for the director, and the first movie for me.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like life. It went. I crossed their roads.
And especially to do all that, and then you kind of be behind the scenes doing all that work, and people not seeing you. Because a lot of now your great videos and your image and how beautiful you are, but that's all just the music kind of living on its own with the penguins, obviously.
Yeah.
So was that kind of nice in some way, kind of gratifying to know that music's standing on its own and you don't have to perform those songs, obviously, even though I know you probably some of it you do. But
yeah, I did some gigs for La Marche de l'Emprunt, but very few really. Yeah. But I enjoyed so much this experience. Yeah, it was as a musician, it's really such a lot of experience out of it. Yeah.
Blending like straight ahead rock and roll stuff, you cover Iggy and the Stooges on this record with all the more experimental stuff and electronic stuff. Talk about putting all that together and how important that is. Yeah,
I don't like. I just like to mix mixtures. I like to create my own colors and my own, like a painter or a sculptor. I like to melt things and to have the right shape or the right texture or the right color, and it's the same for my sound and for my music. And it's true for I Wanna Be Your Dog, the Iggy and the Stooges song. I knew the song since I was a young teenager, because all my friends were playing them on the basement, so I don't know, rehearsing for teenagers, and I loved it. But I never sung it at this time. But one evening I was in my studio in Paris. It was a squat, I just worked there for my first album. So I was in the top of an abandoned building, and I was working on some rhythm, and I thought about this song, and I just wanted to have fun and to just do it, like this, very spontaneous. And that's how I did the cover, who's got nothing to deal with the original version, of course, because I think I'm the contrary of Iggy. Yeah, a young French girl.
Right.
But that's what I liked about it, is to just play with it and put a different lighting on the song. It's just, it's fascinating.
What are your hopes and dreams now for success, for either in here or continue on? What kind of things do you see this next year?
What I dream about is just to keep having great projects, coming, because it makes me want to move and to make progress and to learn more. And I want to learn more about producing. I want to write more songs and to try different experience. I would like to write another movie soundtrack. For the moment, I was touring a lot with my album, and I'm still, but it's really nice when you can experiment completely total different things. Like, for example, next month I'm going to compose music for an aquarium. So that's something else, to just figure out your music in a space and how to welcome people, how to make them go in the water world and the world. So that's just experience and just exciting moments.
So many artists want to do that, but you're able to transcend so many boundaries and pull that off.
Sorry?
You're able to do so many different things at a young age and make all that work. It must be a great...
I'm curious.
feeling.
I'm just curious, and I'm easily bored, actually. So I need to really do a lot of different things.
Now, if this album takes off the way it should here in the States, and everyone knows who you are and it does really well, does that make you then want to be more experimental and do wilder things, or does that kind of force you then to do more pop songs, and kind of how do you see what success can bring?
I think, I don't know exactly, but I think success just comforts you in your direction. So I think I will keep doing what I like, and if it's less success, it's the same. You just do what you like. So, but it's nice to feel that people have got are receptive to what you do. Of course.
Anyone you'd love to work with, a dream collaboration with any artist that you'd love to either sing with or produce with? Are there certain people that you aspire to spend time with?
Oh, there is a lot of people. I don't know if I say a name, but there is a lot of great artists. But I'm open to a lot of different type of experience. So, yeah, why not? I mean, in the movie and also with other singers, why not? Because I'm a singer, but I love to produce and to write music also. So maybe producing or, making some electronic noises. I don't know.
What's a day in Paris like for you when you're not making music? What do you like to spend time doing?
When I'm not making music, I like to stay in my neighborhood in Paris, to go to, because I live next to the Parc de la Villette, which is a big park and very nice to be around and to just hang out. But yeah, most of the time I like to be at home, see my friends, because I'm not too much at home.
And what's the community like of musicians right now in Paris? Or not too many of them end up doing really great over here. People do really well in France and do really well here, and you're already showing that that can change. What's that like now for artists? Do you guys have conversations? Are there certain other artists in France you talk to about things like that?
I think sometimes we cross each other. But we don't phone each other. I mean, I don't feel part of a family, of a community. Just because it's like this, I think everybody's got his own schedule and is busy. So there are people, of course, that you cross and you're happy to see them and to see how things are going on, and happy to see everybody's, evolution also. And next album, and talk about what's happening. But I've got friends, artists, but I've got a lot of friends I'm not artists too, and it's good to
Well, pleasure meeting you.
Pleasure too.
Congratulations on everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Delightful to talk to you. When did you learn English?